That tea bag you drop into your cup every evening, the one you reach for to unwind, to sleep a little easier, to feel a little healthier before bed. There is a real chance it is doing the opposite. Because in late 2024, a team of scientists in Europe brewed ordinary supermarket tea bags, and they found that a single cup can release more than 1 billion tiny particles of plastic, particles small enough to slip straight through the wall of the human gut and into your cells. And plastic is only one of 3 things sitting in the American tea aisle right now. Alongside it, heavy metals pulled up out of the soil, and pesticide residue high enough to get real, name-brand teas yanked off store shelves in just the last couple of years. Now, tea is supposed to be the safe choice, the gentle one, the drink you give a grandchild with a scratchy throat, or pour for yourself when the doctor says cut back on coffee. That is exactly why this matters. Nobody inspects a habit, and a cup of tea is one of the most trusted habits there is. So here is what we are going to do together. I am going to walk you through 15 brands you are better off leaving on the shelf, not as one long list, but sorted by the kind of danger each one carries. Then, I am going to show you 5 brands that actually pass. And at the end, a simple guide to picking a clean cup so you never have to guess again. Stay with me, because the wrong box of tea, sipped every single night for years, adds up, quietly. And most folks never see it coming. Let's start with the threat almost nobody is talking about. The one hiding in the bag picture, the fancy tea bag. The see-through, silky little pyramid. It looks premium. It feels premium. It is made of plastic. When researchers at the Autonomous University of Barcelona steeped these bags in hot water, the polypropylene ones released around 1.2 billion plastic particles per milliliter of tea. The nylon bags, millions more. And when those particles met human intestinal cells in the lab, the cells drank them right in. Some traveled all the way into the nucleus, the part of the cell that holds your DNA. Now, boiling water and plastic have never been friends. Your grandmother knew that without a study. She steeped loose leaves in a pot and strained them, and never once thought about it. But most people today have no idea the nice tea bag, the expensive-looking one, is the plastic one. Think about the arithmetic for a moment. 1 cup a night. 7 nights a week, year after year. That is a lot of trips to the same well. Keep that picture in your head, because it changes how you look at half the names coming up. File 1. The pesticide problem. These first 5 made headlines years ago. The stories are older, but the boxes are still on shelves, and what was found in them is worth remembering. Number 1. Celestial Seasonings. Back in 2013, a research firm sent Celestial's teas to an independent lab. The results were ugly. Pesticide residue over federal limits in most samples tested. Here is the part that stops you cold. One of the flagged products was a bedtime tea made for children, a grape-flavored sleepy time blend, marketed for little ones. The company pushed back hard and pointed to its own testing. But the label said one thing, and the lab said another. And when the product in question is the one you tuck a grandchild in with, "We disagree with the study," is not the answer a family wants to hear. Number 2. Lipton. You know this one. The yellow box. It is in half the pantries in America because it is cheap and it is everywhere. That is exactly the trouble. A Greenpeace investigation and Canadian testing years back turned up a mix of pesticide residues in Lipton leaves. 1 or 2 traces in a fancy tea you drink once in a blue moon is one thing. But this is not a once in a blue moon tea. This is the workhorse. The one that goes in the travel mug, the iced pitcher, the after-dinner cup. And when a little bit rides along every single day, the small amounts stop being small. Number 3. Twinings. 300 years of history. A royal warrant, the kind of name you trust on reputation alone. But an investigation found several Twinings blends carrying more agricultural chemicals than the rules allow. The lesson is a hard one for a long-time customer. Age and prestige do not test your tea. A lab does. Number 4. Tetley. Here is a strange fact. A tea can pass inspection in the United States and get turned away at the border in Europe. That happened to batches of Tetley. Testing to European standards found residue levels too high for import there. Same tea, same box. Rejected on one side of the ocean, sold on the other. It tells you something about how loose our own limits can be. Number 5. Uncle Lee's Legends of China. In a 2014 investigation by a Canadian consumer program, One cheap imported green tea came back the dirtiest of the whole bunch. More than 20 different pesticides in a single product. And when a reporter asked the company about it, the response was a shrug. Pesticides, they said, are just part of the tea business. Just part of the business. Say that out loud. Then throw the box out. A quick word before we go on. If you have got a spouse, a brother, a neighbor who still boils a cup every night out of habit, send this their way now. The next few names are the ones they will really want to hear about. File 2. Pulled from the shelves. Those first stories were old. These next 3 are recent, as in government-ordered recalls within the last 2 years. Number 6. Yogi. Yogi built its whole name on the word organic. Calm, clean. Good for you. In 2024, the FDA recall covered more than 877,000 bags of Yogi's Echinacea Immune Support Tea. The reason? Pesticide residue high enough to cross the agency's action level. The very line that is supposed to trigger a pull from shelves, a product with immune support on the front, recalled for what was inside it. Number 7. Herbalife. In July of 2025, Herbalife recalled its nutrition relaxation tea, roughly 6,000 units. The stated reason was unsettling in its vagueness. The tea had been made with the wrong ingredient, something that came in from a supplier and should not have been there. They did not spell out what it was, and that quiet blank space is its own kind of warning. Over the years, this is a company whose products have drawn attention from doctors more than once. Take the recall at face value and ask a simple question. If you would not swallow a mystery pill, why swallow a mystery tea? Number 8. Celebration Herbals. Late in 2025, the FDA flagged this company's senna leaf tea. Nearly 30,000 tea bags sold across 8 states pulled over possible salmonella contamination. Salmonella in a dried herbal tea. A reminder that natural and herbal on the front of a box are marketing words, not a promise of what is inside. File 3. The detox trap. Now we come to the teas that promise the most and deliver the worst. The detox, the skinny, the flat tummy teas. Let me explain how they actually work, once, because they all work the same way. The main ingredient in most of them is senna. Senna is a laxative, a strong one. It does not burn fat. It does not cleanse anything. It empties you out and flushes water from your body. You step on the scale, the number is down, and you think it is working. It is not working. You are simply dehydrated. The weight comes right back the moment you drink a glass of water, because water is all you lost. And lean on a laxative night after night, and your body forgets how to do the job on its own. That is not a diet. That is a problem you have to unwind later, often with a doctor's help. Now watch how each brand dressed that same trick up in a different costume. Number 9. Teami. Teami sold the dream loud and everywhere. In 2020, the Federal Trade Commission stepped in. The company had made health and weight loss claims it could not back up. It was ordered to stop and to pay a penalty. The government does not do that over a harmless cup of tea. Number 10. Lacey Liao Super Dieters Tea. This one has been on drugstore shelves since the 90s, senna again. But it once carried an herb called chaparral in its formula, an herb the FDA warned about because of reports of liver injury. The company quietly dropped it. Quietly. No headline. Just gone. Number 11. Flat tummy tea. You have seen the ads, even if you did not mean to. A celebrity on a phone screen holding a bright pouch promising a flat stomach. Behind the pretty photo, senna and diuretic herbs. The same flush in a prettier bag sold by a famous face who was paid to hold it. Number 12. Boutier. Over in Britain, this brand became infamous for a reason nobody expects from a tea. Reports came in from the young women whose birth control had failed while they were drinking it. The laxative worked so hard, so fast, that it may have flushed the medication out before their bodies could use it. The company was blasted for never warning a soul. Number 13. Yasso Tea. This one, sold through a multi-level marketing company, was labeled 0% THC, the active ingredient in marijuana. And then the reports started. Regular people, nurses, warehouse workers, failing drug tests at work. Some lost their jobs over it. Lawsuits followed, claiming the tea was not as clean as that label swore. Imagine that. A lifetime of showing up, doing the job right, and then a wellness tea costs you the paycheck. That is the price of a label a company could not stand behind. File 4. The fine print. 2 more. these are not about a recall. They are about what a company chooses to put on the front of the box and what it leaves off. Number 14. Bigelow. Bigelow sells itself as all natural. Then a lawsuit surfaced test results showing its green tea contained glyphosate, the weed killer. Now, in fairness, the amount was below the legal limit. This is not a poisoning story. It is a truth in labeling story, because all natural and trace of weed killer do not belong in the same sentence, and a shopper reading that box would never know. Number 15. Bubble tea and boba pearls. Maybe you do not drink this, but your grandkids do. Those sweet drinks with the chewy pearls at the bottom. In 2025, Consumer Reports tested boba pearls from popular shops. They found lead. In some samples, up to 83% of the level that raises real concern. Lead is hardest on the young, on growing brains and nervous systems, on the very people ordering these drinks the most. And here is the quiet part. Lead does not announce itself. There is no bad taste, no upset stomach that afternoon. It simply builds, a little at a time, in the people least able to shake it off. An occasional treat is one thing. A daily habit is another. If there is a boba fan in your family, this is worth passing along. So, after all that, you are probably asking the only question that matters. What can I actually drink? Good, because this is the part that turns worry into a plan. The 5 that actually pass. Here is what changed. I am not going to hand you 5 brands just because the box says organic. That word alone did not save Yogi from a recall. The bar is higher now. To make this list, a tea has to clear 3 things: clean leaves, a bag that is not plastic, and a company willing to test and show its work out in the open, where you can see it. 1. Traditional medicinals. This company checks its herbs under a microscope to confirm the plant is even what it claims to be, then screens for heavy metals, for contamination, for residue. In published testing, its teas come back with no detectable pesticides. That is not an accident. That is a process. 2. Numi Organic Tea. Fully certified organic, non-GMO, and honest about where every leaf comes from, and the detail that matters most for us. Numi's bags are made from unbleached paper. No plastic mesh, nothing to shed into your cup. 3. Buddha Teas. Bleach-free, plastic-free bags, closed without a metal staple. And the company runs independent lab tests to check for heavy metals and other contaminants. Pure tea and nothing along for the ride. 4. Choice Organic Teas. One of America's original organic tea makers, going back to 1989. Certified organic and fair trade. Their bags use natural fiber and cotton, not plastic. Old school in the best way. 5. Puka Herbs. Every blend built from certified organic herbs, tested for purity before it is ever boxed. The bags are plant fiber, no staple, fully compostable. A clean cup from leaf to bag. Now, how to choose on your own. You will not always have a list in your hand at the store. So, here is how to read a box in 10 seconds. First, look at the bag, not just the leaf. If it is a clear, silky plastic pyramid, put it back. Reach for plain, unbleached paper. It has a natural brown color, not a bright bleached white. That one choice cuts out the plastic problem entirely. Second, watch the heavy metals. Choose companies that openly test for lead and cadmium and post the results. If a company will not tell you what is in the leaf, that silence is your answer. And treat boba and bubble tea as a now-and-then treat, not a daily pour, especially for the little ones. And do not be fooled by a pretty word on the front of the box. Natural, wellness, pure. Those are painted on by the marketing department. The truth is on the back, in the fine print, or on the company's own testing page. Learn to flip the box over. It takes 10 seconds and it tells you everything. Third, skip anything selling a body, not a beverage. Detox, skinny, cleanse, flat tummy. Those words are your cue to walk away. That is a laxative in a costume. Fourth, a word on the forever chemicals. You may have heard of PFAS. A consumer group testing tea in 2024 found traces in some herbal blends. Now, be careful here, because black tea naturally carries fluoride, and that can look similar on a test. So this is not a reason to panic. It is one more reason to favor brands that are open about their testing. And finally, how you brew matters as much as what you buy. Do not let the bag sit longer than about 5 minutes. Oversteeping does not make it better. It just pulls out more bitterness, more caffeine, and even more of any metals in the leaf. Do not drink it on an empty stomach, and do not drink it right on top of a meal. Tea can block your body from soaking up iron. Give it a half hour to an hour after you eat, and keep it away from bedtime. Even a couple of cups of strong tea in the evening can rob you of the good sleep you were chasing in the first place. So there it is. 3 hidden threats: plastic in the bag, metal in the leaf, and a whole shelf of detox teas built on a laxative and a promise. 15 names to leave behind, and 5 you can pour with confidence tonight. Choosing the right tea is not about fear. It is about knowing. And now you know more than most people ever will about what is really in that evening cup. Think about it. For years, the folks selling these teas counted on one thing: that you would not flip the box over, that you would trust the pretty word on the front and never ask a single question. Well, those days are done for you. The right cup protects your liver, your kidneys, your sleep, and a good many good mornings down the road. If this opened your eyes, do one thing for me. Go look in your own cabinet right now and tell me in the comments which of these you found. Somebody scrolling by needs to check their shelf too, and your comment might be the nudge that gets them to do it. Take care of yourself, and I will see you with the next one.